at the end of our episode. I think hopefully we're not still frozen.
We're going to call that a cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger, that's right. But actually, it was a pretty convenient spot to stop because we had gone through the initial 6-issue brainstorm, and now we're just going to do the revision part and work ourselves out of this here. Right. So, and we think part of the problem was the timer we were using, so we're going to just try to eyeball the time this time. So
off screen.
But we've got ourselves 5 minutes to revise things. So Terrance, what do you think there? I think what do we need to revise?
I mean, there isn't a lot to revise aside from like figuring out how it all ends, like that final issue, like what the final. That's what I think.
Well, I don't know. There was that. I think issue 3, we kind of old friend Leslie calls on Harper to advise about an angelic being who came looking for Clavis. Sewer grate is a factor.
I guess we didn't really.
An act of God misdirects the hunter angels from Clavis. We didn't really get into any details there. So there's a sewer grate.
Well, we would. I mean, because that would give you a little bit of background on how Clavis came to be Clavis, to be Harper Keys. I was about to say Harper Lee.
Harper Lee, yeah, Harper Keys. And well, the sewer grate, I think that's. I mean, how would a locksmith be involved with a sewer grate? I guess that's the point. Is that Leslie brought it to the attention, huh?
I would say I'd assume there's some lock on it, like the Ninja Turtle hideout or something.
Well, I know there are valves. Like valves oftentimes have, but I don't think they're locks per se. I don't know that a locksmith would get involved. But what if Leslie works for not an old friend Leslie? What if Leslie works for Public Works?
Okay.
And that's why a sewer grate is involved. And it's not that there's a lock. It's just that he's like, I've been noticing this stuff in the basement dimension, that's been going on. So Leslie, okay. So Leslie works for Public Works. Did we ever decide what city this is in?
No.
Calls on Harper to advise about angelic beings come looking for Clavis from the sewer.
Yeah.
The sewer. So this may not involve the apprentice in this case. Or maybe it does, but an act of God misdirects the hunter angels from.
I thought the apprentice had to tag along everywhere,
So this may not be an angelic. Well, if he's on the job, but he may not be on the clock for this. Oh, except the old friend had specifically asked for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they must have given they must have had a real lock issue that wanted help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but is it an angelic being or a demonic being in this case?
I think the angelic, just to throw that, because it was really, exposing more of like the situation of the character, being hunted for their existence from all sides.
But an angel from the sewer seems kind of, I mean, that's.
I like that.
Okay. So what's the act of God? Is it like a flood? I mean, if that's the case, it could be like a.
Well, yeah, I would guess. Yeah, with something
angelic flushing,
actually, like a flushing. What do they have mudslide? Like I don't know much about Idaho. That's really what it boils down to. Like, what kind of natural disasters do they have?
Be a potato avalanche. Well, no, that makes sense. I mean, there might be some other type of clog.
I mean, are they? It could be a sinkhole. It could be a earthquake. I don't know if they're far enough west to have earthquakes. Or are there mountains that go through Idaho?
Well, let's find out here. Are there earthquakes? I'm sure there are. I mean, there are a bunch of earthquakes in Colorado, which I've never experienced, but apparently they happen.
No, I felt one earthquake in my life.
Today's earthquakes in Idaho. There's actually so there are earthquakes in Idaho. So why don't we just do that? Like maybe there's an earthquake that causes the sewage system to collapse, and whatever creatures were trying to come out of that were buried or.
Yeah. What would be interesting would be that if like Leslie is trying to get, Clavis to come work at like Public Works, like they have other like they have more. Like I'm just thinking, Public Works would really be a good place for Clavis to work as well. Like all the different things they can get.
Well, and they need locksmiths too, actually.
Yeah.
So that actually would be okay. So okay.
So maybe that's, I mean, they're trying to draw them away from, because like, yeah, being a locksmith was like probably less involved even than, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the, like the parent that's like, all those talents you have, you could really go to good use in the Public Works.
So an earthquake, but I think we decided that an earthquake collapses the sewer system, which also impedes the sewer angels.
Right.
Okay. I think that was the big thing we needed to work on. So, what did I? All right. So I think we've got ourselves a 6-story plot.
Yes, we do.
So we can always kind of flesh that out.
How did that end though? That was we ended rather abruptly. So I just wanted to make sure that we got to the very end of.
Well, I think it's another cliffhanger because basically Harper advised Kip to accept the deal that the shopkeeper was offering,
right?
Which was to join forces, and he would stop the basement dimension, and that basically Harper just said that I'll come and save you.
Okay.
So that's just a cliffhanger. Now,
basically, accept the deal, you'll be okay, and all of this will stop. So, yeah.
And so, but this is the thing, Clavis is working on paleontological time, so coming to save Kip might be a while. Who knows? But that could be but you see, that could totally be like a thread for, an ongoing thread that Clavis is trying to stay hidden, but at the same time trying to retrieve Kip. And also the boss. Think about how irate the boss is going to be, right?
You lost my nephew.
Yep.
So yeah.
Shopkeeper's gone too, though. That's actually the other thing. So maybe the shopkeeper and Kip ran off together is the story,
That sounds like a whole new series, like the shopkeeper and Kip. Sounds
like season 2 or something. But you're right, it's an offshoot. Yeah, it's a
whole spin-off.
Well, I think I don't know. I think we came up with a cool story. Huh?
Kip doesn't have any powers or anything. He's like Rick Jones.
Well, yeah, that's you got to have supporting characters like that. So, I feel almost like having the shopkeeper have powers is becomes almost too much. So at least Leslie doesn't have powers, or so we know.
Well, I like the idea that Leslie is just the human that's his mentor. I think that's you don't see a lot of that.
Yeah.
And it's just a blue collar guy that taught him how to be a blue collar guy. Yeah. Works in Public Works. It's like this is how you're gonna be.
I think that's awesome.
You're a regular human.
I think that's awesome. Well, I think we got a cool story, and it's like, I know we could talk about this off scene, but it's sort of like, what are we doing? Nothing more with this. It's going to be tough to let go of these characters so we can move on to the next month, right?
Yeah.
So, because this is an interesting storyline, it'd be interesting to see where it went. But all right, well,
we can always come back to it. We could.
Well, we can. We'll have other there's going to be the next episode that we do is, at least in theory, it's kind of a wild card episode, but we were talking about having kind of we're having guests on and having kind of a happy hour where we just do it's not connected to the entire monthly theme, but we can we're just going to go off and brainstorm other things, but maybe we could somehow we'll figure out the exact format. But next episode is going to be a wild card format. That fourth that fourth Saturday of the month will always be a wild card. And if we have 5 Saturdays, then whoa, get ready.
You thought fourth week was wild. Wait till you see the fifth.
So let's get to the script here, right? So that's it for this episode. But we want Terrance is not ready. Okay, I'll just read it. But we want to hear from you, true conceivers. Do you want to just man the board there and just flash up our?
Oh wait. Oh well, yeah, I'll man the board.
So that's it for this episode. But we want to hear from you, true conceivers. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Leave us a comment or email at heroicpod@gmail.com, and we'll respond to your feedback on upcoming episodes. Don't forget to show your support, share, subscribe, or just hit the like button. It all helps. And that's a wrap. Keep on hero smithing, true conceiver. Let me try that again. And that's a wrap. Keep on hero smithing, true conceivers. We'll see you next time on Heroic Origins. Stop. That doesn't look right.
No, it doesn't.